Hey, it's Tara, and it's time for Sunday Reads. So this week I finished 3 books. I finished Midnight in Austenland by Shannon Hale, Nexus by Ramez Nam, and Stardust by Neil Gaiman. So Stardust was a reread for me, and I read it a long time ago, and then I watched the movie, I think, and I was about equal on them, but now that I've reread the book, I actually like the movie better. Don't throw things at me. I don't know what I like more about it. Maybe it feels more complete or less like... It's not that it feels less fantastic, but it feels like the characters in the movie are better fleshed out. So I enjoyed that, although I do miss one of the characters that's in the book and not in the movie. I don't think we ever know his name. He's some hairy little guy. So yeah, I still recommend reading the book if you haven't read it. It's really fantastic, but I also highly recommend watching the movie, which is my favorite. Midnight in Austenland by Shannon Hale was the second, I think, I forget what the first one was called, just maybe Austenland? I'm not sure. I did not read the first book. I watched the movie, and I liked the movie quite a bit. So I read the book for some fluffy light reading, and it was pretty good, but it was a lot darker and heavier than I expected, and not necessarily in a good way. I think I gave it like 3 stars because it was just a little bit too heavy for me and maybe a little too convenient, and the ending was a little too happy. I don't know. Nexus by Ramez Nam was really interesting. It's about a nano drug called Nexus, which you can use to link minds. I'm not entirely sure on the technology, but it was fairly well explained in the book through some well-placed info dumps and interviews. So I wasn't confused through any of the book, so that was good. But thinking back on it, I can't really remember how a lot of it worked, but it totally worked in the book. There was a lot of violence, and it seemed somewhat gratuitous. Like, I understand that, you have governments fighting, and it can get pretty brutal and messy, and, I can't condemn the book for it, but it made me uncomfortable, and it was kind of boring, so I skipped through a lot of the fight scenes. That being said, I thought the character development was quite nice, and the story itself was really interesting, especially how they worked in, like, the Buddhist, like, religion and the Buddhist aims, and how, there were like 3 factions in the book fighting for control, and I don't know, I really liked the way all 3 of those worked together there. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. I think it's actually 3.5 for me, but I am going to go ahead and move on to Crux, which I think I'm going to buddy read with Rachel from Kalinati sometime this month, so I'm pretty excited about that. And there is a 3rd book, but I can't remember the title right now, but yeah, I probably will read that as well. This week I plan on reading Masuji Ibuse's Black Rain, which is a book that was published originally in 1965, and it's about a survivor of Hiroshima and the after effects and things like that, and this will be my Japanese read for the month. I decided to read this one because I'm going to read Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle later this month, and I thought that those 2 would probably go fairly well together. I'm also participating in the Chronicles of Amber read-along, so I will post a thing so that if any of you are interested, you can join us. So I will read the first book of that this week, and I'm probably going to have time for another book, maybe. So I might start Cat's Cradle, or I might do a fluffy read, because I feel like Black Rain is probably going to push a lot of my buttons and maybe require some more brain space. So I might read something fluffy, I'm not sure. So that was my update on what I did read and what I'm going to read, vaguely. I think I'm going to give up on beginning theory right now. I'm really stressed out, and I feel like I need to devote a lot of time and energy to it, so I don't feel up to reading it, so I'm just not gonna. no sense in pushing myself, I guess. I also totally tanked on reading any short stories this week. I will get back on the wagon starting this week, I hope. And there's no tea today because I am about to leave for a game day with my coworkers. We're gonna play like some Skippo and Farkle and Wii Party and various things, and I'm really excited because I haven't seen one of them in like 6 months. It's one of my old coworkers. So today should be fun. This weekend should be good, and I hope you are all having a great weekend, or had a great weekend. I guess it's probably halfway through for most of you guys. I guess that's all. Until next time.